Yes.
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
I'm sorry, Commissioner Hardy, I didn't address you properly. Commissioner Hardy has led us in the Pledge of Allegiance. Okay, will the secretary please conduct roll call?
Commissioner Escamilla. Commissioner Christie.
Here.
Commissioner Cornelius. Commissioner Hardy.
Present.
Commissioner Hadigi.
Present.
Commissioner Shipp.
Present.
Vice Chair Marashi.
Here.
Chair Rush.
Present.
Chair quorum has been reached at 4:36.
Okay. Before we begin, I'd like to remind my fellow commissioners to turn your microphones on when speaking and off when not speaking. And when speaking, please place the microphone about 4 inches away from you. Thank you. Members of the public may attend Historic Resource Commission meetings in person or virtually via Zoom. I now invite the commission secretary to describe the way the public can access and participate in this meeting.
This meeting is being live streamed via our portal at www.sana-ana.primegov.com/public/portal and to www.youtube.com/City of Santa Ana videos. If you would like to provide public comment, you may do so in the following ways. Join the meeting via Zoom, enter meeting ID number 871723988856. When the item that you would like to comment on is being discussed, select the hand icon to let us know you would like to speak. You will be called upon by the name you entered. You can also join the meeting by calling 669-900-6833. Enter meeting ID number 871723988856. When the item that you would like to comment on is being discussed, press 9 to let us know you would like to speak. You will be called upon by the last 3 digits of your phone number. After you are called upon, you may press number 6 to unmute yourself. For those who are attending this meeting in person and would like to provide public comment, please fill out a request to speak form and turn it into the secretary. All speakers will have 3 minutes to speak. I will alert you when your time is up.
Moving on to public comments on non-agenda items. Madam Secretary, does anyone wish to speak?
If you're attending this meeting in person and would like to comment on non-agenda items, please fill out a request to speak form and turn it into the secretary. If you're participating via Zoom and would like to comment on non-agenda items, please select the hand icon and unmute yourself. If you're calling in and would like to comment on non-agenda items, please dial 9 and then 6 to unmute yourself. We will wait a few seconds. Chair, we do not have any speakers.
Okay. Moving on to the consent calendar, which is one motion for all consent calendar items unless a particular item is pulled for separate discussion. And I wish to pull the issue regarding item B for excused absences, and we'll deal with that in the business calendar of our meeting. So do we have a motion to approve item A, minutes from January 11th, 2024, item C, historic property preservation agreement for 801 Minter Street, and item C, receive and file the certified local government 2022 through 2023 annual report?
So moved.
Commissioner Christie has made the motion. Do we have a second? Commissioner Marashi. Madam Secretary, please call for roll call vote.
Commissioner Escamilla. Commissioner Christie.
Yes.
Commissioner Cornelius. Commissioner Hardy.
Yes.
Commissioner Hadigi.
Yes.
Commissioner Shipp.
Yes.
Vice Chair Marashi.
Yes.
Chair Rush.
Yes.
Motion approved by majority vote with Commissioner Escamilla and Commissioner Cornelius absent.
Now, Madam Secretary, you didn't call Commissioner Carpenter's name. Was there a reason? Huh?
He's not here.
Well, neither is Manny Escamilla, but you called his name.
Commissioner Carpenter is not a commissioner on this commission.
Commissioner Carpenter?
Yes,
Even though it says so on here? Did I
there is a
miss-
typo on the
Did I miss a
script.
memo?
The script might be referring to an outdated list of commissioners, but I think you might be referring to Commissioners Cornelius and Escamilla. Commissioner Carpenter no longer serves on the commission.
Well, his name is on here.
Noted. Thank you.
I mean, I'm just following the printed instructions here, call me stupid, but okay. All right, well, that answers that question. Okay, all right. That concludes the consent calendar. Moving on to the business calendar session. I will now review the process for the public hearing so that everyone knows what to expect. However, the first item before we get into our public hearings, we will address the issue of excused absences. I will now review the process for public hearings so that everyone knows what to expect. Staff will provide a presentation and answer questions from the commission. The public hearing will be open. The applicant will be given the opportunity to speak, limited to 15 minutes. Members of the public will be given the opportunity to comment, limited to 3 minutes. The applicant will be given the opportunity to respond to comments made by the public, limited to 5 minutes. The public hearing will then be closed. Discussion will return to the commission with formal action taken to approve, deny, or continue review of the application. Please consider the following suggestions when organizing your comments. Please state your name and address. State whether you support, oppose, or are neutral to the proposal. Your statement should include all pertinent facts within your knowledge. The formal action by the Historic Resource Commission shall become effective after the 10-day appeal period unless the City Council holds a public hearing on the matter. Then the formal action will become effective on the day following the hearing and decision by the City Council. An appeal from the decision or requirement of the commission must be filed with the clerk of the council and a copy sent to the planning department within 10 days of the date of the commission's action. The appeal may be made by any interested party, individual, or group. But we are now going to address the issue of excused absences. We had a request by Commissioner Escamilla to be excused as he is not feeling well today. He's ill. We had a request from Commissioner Cornelius, who wanted to attend the meeting via Zoom, but we can't accommodate that because we've already done that twice before, and there is a statutory limitation, if my memory is correct, under state law. Isn't that correct? So, we can't do that again.
Under state law, a member of a commission may seek the approval of his fellow commissioners or her fellow commissioners to participate virtually under emergency circumstances twice per calendar year. That wasn't the request of Commissioner Cornelius in this instance.
But we've already done that twice, have we not?
In the prior year, 2020.
Yes, yeah, okay.
If I may as well, sir, there's two types of this, of the emergency teleconferencing. One is for a just cause, which requires a vote of the council, but there's another one for emergency circumstances that is unlimited. So just to be clear that there is one that only allows for two under just cause, and then emergency circumstances, which is a separate bucket, if you will, of but but he is not requesting either one of those at this time, correct?
Well, I'm inclined to give Commissioner Escamilla an excused absence, but not Commissioner Cornelius. It's just happened too many times.
Are you making a motion?
I would like a motion to that
I
effect.
will move that.
Okay, do we have a second?
So, Chair, what I would recommend just for record keeping is to entertain the motions individually.
Is
So entertain the motions individually. So begin with Commissioner Escamilla, take the roll call vote, and then proceed with Commissioner Cornelius, and then take that roll call vote.
Okay, all right. Well, let's start then with Commissioner Escamilla. Do we have a motion to give him an excused absence?
Move.
Okay, Commissioner Christie, do we have a second?
I can second that.
Commissioner Hardy. Madam Clerk, if you would call the roll.
Commissioner Escamilla, Commissioner Christie,
Yes.
Commissioner Cornelius, Commissioner Hardy,
Yes.
Commissioner Howdy,
Yes.
Commissioner Ship,
Yes.
Vice Chair Marashi,
Yes.
Chair Rush.
Yes.
Motion approved by majority vote with Commissioner Escamilla and Commissioner Cornelius absent.
Okay, so next we will deal with Commissioner Cornelius. And do we have a motion that he would be noted as absent today versus an excused absence? Do we have a motion to that effect?
I would rather carry it to the end of the meeting to see if he shows up, just to give him a chance. That's just my opinion.
Well, I believe he's indicated he's not going to be here, period.
Oh, he did?
Isn't that correct?
Correct.
Oh, without a reason?
He indicated it was a work conflict.
Okay.
So, do we have a motion from one of the commissioners to note Commissioner Cornelius as being absent?
One more question, please. When did he give us notice?
Thank you, Vice Chair. We'll look that up in our emails in one moment.
Okay. But it wasn't like today or something.
He emailed us last Thursday when the agenda was posted and published.
Well, I would like to make the motion that we do excuse him because he did give us an advance reason and advance notice within a reason. That's my motion.
So we have a motion to give him an excused absence. Is there a second?
I second.
All right, Madam Clerk, would you call the roll?
Commissioner Escamilla, Commissioner Christie,
Yeah.
Commissioner Cornelius, Commissioner Hardy,
Yes.
Commissioner Howdy,
Yes.
Commissioner Ship,
Yes.
Vice Chair Marashi,
Yes.
Chair Rush.
No.
Motion approved by majority vote with Commissioner Escamilla, Commissioner Cornelius absent, and Chair Rush dissenting.
I think it's important. Our meetings are well established in advance. And he consistently misses meetings. And if this isn't a priority, then he shouldn't be on the commission. That's my comment. Okay, let's
So-
move on.
Can I ask a question? So that wasn't necessarily an emergency then. That would be one of two strikes for the sheriff, correct?
Given that the absence was excused, the one of two strikes is not applicable in
Oh.
this situation.
Okay.
Okay, let's move on to our business calendar. This is the time and place for the Historic Resource Commission, application number 2023-27. Historic Register application number 2024-01 and Historic Preservation Agreement 2024-01 for the property located at 944 West Buffalo Avenue within the single-family R1 zoning district. Before we begin, do any commissioners have anything they wish to disclose with regard to this item? Commissioner Christie?
Automatically looks this way because he knows. Yes, I visited the property on Saturday and I know the family. Jessica's son went to high school and graduated the same year as my granddaughter. So go Eagles.
Commissioner Harigi?
I too just drove around the property this afternoon, but just a little bit ago, Mrs. Newman just approached me. And it just happens that my husband, Augustine, who is a contractor, was it last year? He did work for them and did some construction work inside the house. So I don't know if I should excuse myself or not, because I did not know until right now. And it's like, oh, I remember the name now. So should I excuse myself?
I don't believe so, because you don't have any actual conflict other than just these people, right?
There's no ongoing work right now.
And
That
you
was
don't
last
have a
year.
business relationship with
With
the
a business
applicant?
relationship, my husband last year,
Yeah, not current though, correct?
not current, no.
I don't believe that there's a conflict.
Okay.
Okay. Any other commissioners have anything to share? No. Okay. Andrea Dumovich Haywood will now provide a brief presentation.
Good evening. Good evening, Chair and Commissioners. It's great to be here again. Item number 1 is for the Moss House. This item is a request to place the property addressed 944 West Buffalo Avenue on the Santa Ana Register and to execute a Mills Act agreement with the property owner. Staff recommends approval of this item. The Moss House is a ranch-style house constructed in 1959. It's located in West Floral Park. The architect is unknown, and it was built by owner/contractor S. Griswold. The house qualifies for listing in the Santa Ana Register of Historical Properties under Criterion 1 as an intact example of the ranch-style house from the late 1950s. Additionally, the house qualifies for listing in the Santa Ana Register under Criterion 4B for its association with Dr. William Moss, who established his surgeon practice in Santa Ana and continued to develop his medical career in Orange County for decades following, and for its association with Betty Moss, who contributed to Santa Ana and the greater Orange County community throughout her involvement with numerous community organizations. The recommended categorization is key because it has distinctive architectural style and quality reflective of the ranch style. Character defining features of the house include, but are not limited to, the following: 2 primary facades because it's on a corner lot, long horizontal massing, low pitched, hipped and multi-gabled roof with overhanging eaves and exposed rafters, wood panel siding, vertical wood panel siding and stucco siding, 1 roof that covers the detached garage, the porte cochere, and the main house. Primary entrance that's set back into the building within a covered porch and that has wood support beams. Large windows on the primary facade, 4 large aluminum frame sliding doors at the rear south facade, louvered window at the east facade, brise-soleil wall, detached guest house, central brick chimney, front entrance concrete path lined with brick on the sides, minimal brick infill at the driveway delineating a T shape, and lastly, the front lawn with small shrubs and low brick planter. And then again, as a refresher, here is the key category overview, which explains the requirements for listing. It has to be a building structure, object, or site that meets the following: has a distinctive architectural style and quality, or is characteristic of a significant period in the history of the city, or is associated with a significant person or event in the city. And then additional photos of the house. So the far left photo shows the primary north facade, which includes the detached garage, the porte cochere in the middle, and then the main house, all covered under the same roof. The middle photo shows the main entrance located within the covered front patio, front porch. And the far right photo shows the brise-soleil wall at the primary west facade. Staff recommends that the commission adopt a resolution to approve HRCA number 2023-27 and HRC 2024-01, and recommend City Council authorize HPPA number 2024-01. And that concludes my presentation. Thank you.
Okay, does the commission have any questions or comments of staff? Commissioner Hardy?
Yes, can you point out and define what a brise-soleil wall is, please?
So the photo on the upper far right, where my mouse is, so it's a concrete block wall. They come in different styles, and it's typical of this era. So this is common in ranch style, mid-century modern. So this was determined to be a character-defining feature of the home.
Great, thank you.
I have a question. Anyone else?
I just,
Commissioner Christie?
with the brise-soleil wall over there, the trees that are planted, since it is a distinctive feature here, I hope that the residents will trim back the trees as they fully grow, because remember our view corridor, they've got to see the whole thing. And since that's one of the most significant portions of the property is that wall, as far as a key, it has to be preserved where it has to be viewed from walking or the street coming down to give it the whole. So I can see where the trees are, that maybe in a couple of years, that would be covered up with the growth of the tree, just to remind them that it has to be displayed on that.
Yes, and the Mills Act contract also asks for regular landscaping to show the property too.
Okay, just.
I have a question. In the front, picture in the middle, slide 5, picture in the middle, can you blow that up a little bit? Are those windows original?
So the primary facades do have a mix of window material, we noticed in the field. So we did consult with an outside historic consultant, Chattel, about these windows. And in the Mills Act work plan for this property, it was determined and recommended by Chattel. You can't see it in this photo, but to the right of the far right window in this photo is a wood picture window that appears to have the original framing. And so the Chattel recommended that these windows in the work plan will be replaced with wood so that they are all consistent. in
And
the
when
front.
will that happen?
Let me check. I think it's in a few years from now. 2027.
Within 3 years?
Mhm.
Why so long?
And we can ask the owner if they're open to changing it, but I know that it is a significant expense. So the contract is 10 years, so it is in the early part of the contract.
Well, I can't think of an instance where we've approved a Mills Act contract with that kind of significant work. I mean, we've approved things with, well, you had to trim a tree or replace a door, but I mean, windows, that's kind of a big deal. You know, it's part of the facade of the property. Yes, Commissioner Christie.
Sorry. Before you were on, the commission board, we had several previous, a couple of years where, they were coming in, not only the historic register, but the Mills Act in order to have the house get back to its original kind of image. And we did approve that. I think she was a teacher, if I'm going back into the records back there. And she needed the Mills Act in order to make the substantial improvements to the property to bring it, back to its. Art. So we have made approvals with the Mills Act and with the properties to go forward with the saving is to bring it back to historic significance.
Mhm.
So we have, and this was done prior to you coming on. the commission.
I see. Was 3 years is what was requested by the applicant or what we proposed?
I can't recall, but I did work with the applicant on the contract, on the 10-year plan. So it was revised by myself and the owner.
Mhm.
Mhm.
I see. Okay, any other questions of Commissioner Hardy?
Yes. So you're saying that the wood frame windows are to the right of this?
There's only
Project?
one existing wood frame windows.
And it's a picture window with two narrow window, or the narrow window on each side
Yeah,
under that
tripart.
gable? Okay, so my question is, it's quite a bit smaller configuration than the replacement windows that we're questioning at this time. So
Mhm.
do you know, is it going to be like the original windows that are under the gable, or is it going to be, what is the configuration going to look like? I guess there's shutters there, so that's why it looks like black shutters
Mhm.
on each side of the replacement window grouping in this photo. Okay. So it'll be the same configuration. It'll be a plate glass window with a narrow window on each side,
Yeah,
like the original window under the gable.
yeah, these windows you see in this photo, the sizing ultimately won't change. It's the framing and the wood material will change. And the window that you can't see that is to the right of this, it's a similar configuration. It is smaller, but it's similar.
Yeah, I can see it in the photos that were in the application that we
Mhm.
have. So the windows will be the same size. They'll just have the wood framing.
For consistency.
Okay. All right. So we don't know what the original size of the windows were.
No, I mean, it's not believed that these have been altered in the size, but we don't have that information.
Okay, thank
Mhm.
you.
Any other questions? Commissioner Hargy?
The window that's closest to the door, is that a living room, dining room area versus the one under the gable that could be a bedroom?
I don't have the floor plan, so I'd have to ask the owner.
Okay. Any other questions of commissioners? Commissioner Marashi?
I'm just curious from a city point of view, how does the follow-up process work? You put it on a calendar and then you go visit the home, and let's say the windows aren't done, then what happens? I'm just curious how we play it out going forward.
So I think we've mentioned this before, but we are in the process of revitalizing our Mills Act program in terms of monitoring. So we are required to monitor the Mills Act contracts at a minimum of once per 5 years. So we will be sending out an online questionnaire for the Mills Act owners to submit photos to prove that they've done the work. And that if we don't receive it, there will be follow-up. So we haven't rolled that out yet, but we're very close.
Thank you.
Any other questions, commissioners of staff? Okay. All right, the public hearing is now open. Does the commission have any comments or questions of the applicant? Perhaps the applicant would like to come forward to the lectern there.
Hi, my name is Jessica Newman.
You got to speak up to the microphone.
My name is Jessica Newman. My husband, Daniel Newman, couldn't be here. He's currently coaching this evening at a high school in Santa Ana, Calvary Chapel High School in Santa Ana. My address, do I state that again because I'm here at the mic? 944 West Buffalo Avenue. He has been coaching there. I've been working at a school in Santa Ana for 30 years. He also has been an employee of Santa Ana for the past 17. He's a deputy sheriff with the County of Orange. So we have made Santa Ana our home and love the historic neighborhoods and the pockets that have all of the historic houses. We were privileged with the opportunity to purchase a home in West Floral Park in 2018, neighborhoods that we drove through when we were a young married couple thinking maybe someday, and that someday came. We love the idea of historic preservation and getting to preserve homes and the architect styles for years to come, and also to keep the integrity of neighborhoods. And we also love that we get to be a steward, the second owner of this home. And so therefore we're presenting the historical status to you today. I'd be happy to answer any questions about those windows if you have questions or the floor plan.
Any questions of the commissioners of the applicant? Commissioner
The big
Harrigan?
front window, is that part of your living room, dining room?
That's a living room.
And the other one that's at almost at the corner, is that a bedroom?
The one that you can't see in that picture?
Yes, the one
On the
that's under
right-hand side?
gables, that's wood.
No, under the gable on the left, that is a bedroom.
Yes.
The ones on the porch.
Mhm.
That's an aluminum window. The living room window is a wood center picture window and two of the glass louvered. It's an original window. The window to the right that's not in that photo is a master bedroom, and it is wood, all wood.
Okay.
So there's a blend. But we have not changed the windows. That's what was there when we purchased the home.
Have you gotten an estimate of the cost to repair those windows?
No, we have
Replace
not,
them?
we have not looked into that. We thought that the living room was original because of the louvers, the glass louvers and how that was set up. We thought that was pretty much 1959. We thought we would only be replacing the bedroom window. So when we had our discussions about the way that it went, it was at first, oh, they're all going to need to be aluminum. And then it's, no, they all need to be wood. So we were just waiting for this to kind of play out to see what we had to do, and liked the idea of having the 3 years to research the best way to go about doing that. The intent is not to change the size or the shape of it. It's not a big box plug and play. It's definitely something to maintain the integrity of the home.
Any other questions of the applicant? Commissioner Christie?
I do like, if you hadn't gone on and walked up, their front door reminds me so much of a ranch style. The top opens up.
Touch.
And that is clear to me of a ranch style home, that you see in Texas and Oklahoma and so forth, those ranch style home, is that here's your door and here's the other part, but this opens up to sea. And I thought I was looking in, I go, is this a window? You know, no, it was actually the door off to the side looking great and which is very good, you know, which.
You mean
reflects-
it's a Dutch door?
Yes.
What we call a Dutch door? I see.
Think of the name.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Dutch door.
Dutch door.
Dutch door on that. It's so
Yeah.
unique to them. And the property is well kept.
Thank you.
And they came from, live here from,
We were renting in Costa Mesa for 5 years, but we had had a home in Bristol Manor previously before that for 10 years in Santa Ana. My husband was born in Santa Ana and he enjoys Santa Ana, the big yards, the neighborhood feel. And so we didn't move to South County so we could have more of the style home that we're enjoying in Santa Ana.
Okay, it appears did you have anything else you wanted to share with us, madam?
I don't think so.
Okay,
Thank
Thank
you for
you.
your consideration.
all right, thank you. Okay. Huh? No. All right. Madam Secretary, have we received any written communication? Or is there a member of the public that would like to comment on this item?
We have not received written communication. If you're attending this meeting in person and would like to comment on this item, please fill out a request to speak form and turn it into the secretary. If you're participating via Zoom and would like to comment on this item, please select the hand icon and unmute yourself. If you're calling in and would like to comment on this item, please dial 9 and then 6 to unmute yourself. I will wait for a few seconds. Chair, we do not have any speakers.
Okay, the public hearing is now closed. Is there a motion to approve this matter and a second?
Chairman,
Commissioner Marashi,
I make a motion that we adopt a resolution approving Historic Resource Commission application number 2023-27 and Historic Register categorization number 2024-01. I also recommend that the city council authorize the city manager and the clerk of the council to execute the attached Mills Act agreement with Daniel and Jessica Newman, subject to non-substantive changes approved by the city manager and the city attorney.
do we have a second?
Second.
Commissioner Hargy? All right, so we have a motion and a second. Madam Clerk, would you like to call the roll?
Commissioner Escamilla, Commissioner Christie,
yes?
Commissioner Cornelius, Commissioner Hardy,
Yes.
Commissioner Haudegi,
Yes.
Commissioner Ship,
Yes.
Vice Chair Marashi,
Yes.
Chair Rush.
Yes.
Motion approved by majority vote with Commissioner Escamilla and Commissioner Cornelius absent.
Okay, this is the time and place for historic exterior modification application. What? Congratulations. Alberta's going to throw you a party, but it's after our meeting, okay? But congratulations. So, okay, this is the time and place for historic exterior modification application 203-09 for this property located at 419 West 19th Street within the single-family R1 zoning district. Before we begin, do we have any commissioners who have anything they wish to disclose regarding this item? I will begin with Commissioner Christie.
Yes, I did go out on Saturday to review the home. I walked the property, but I did not speak to any of the owners.
Commissioner Hargy?
I too today walked the front of the property, but I did not talk to anybody.
Okay, all right. Andrea Dumovich Haywood will now provide a brief presentation.
Thank you. Item number 2 is for a historic exterior modification application for the Yuri House. The application is for HEMA number 2023-09, located at 419 West 19th Street. The project includes a historic exterior modification application to allow a 413 square foot rear addition to accommodate a new primary bedroom and bathroom, interior reconfiguration for a new office and tea parlor, and addition of a rear patio enclosure along with a new rear covered patio. Staff recommends approval of HEMA 2023-09 as conditioned. Site aerial. The subject property is located in Floral Park on the north side of West 19th Street, located between Ross Street and Victoria Drive. The Yeri House was constructed in 1922 and is a colonial revival / craftsman bungalow style house. It's listed as number 427 on the Santa Ana Register, which was listed in 2004 at the contributive level. And because it's in the Floral Park National Register District, it's also automatically listed in the California Register of Historical Resources. Additionally, it's a contributor, an individual contributor to the Floral Park National Register Historic District. So the project description, project includes a 413 square foot rear, which is at the northwest corner, addition for a new primary bedroom and bathroom, and also to incorporate the unpermitted rear patio enclosure that currently serves as a laundry room at the rear as a rear addition. And then these items are administrative HEMA items that do not require discretionary review, but they're part of the project, so we're including them here for awareness. It includes the interior reconfiguration for a new office and tea parlor, adding the rear covered patio and the open wood deck at the rear, and then replacing the existing detached garage door with a new compatible wood door. So existing and proposed site plan. The image on the left indicates the existing building footprint of the main house and the detached garage. You can see the unpermitted patio enclosure is outlined in red. The proposed site plan on the right shows the addition will be added to the rear at the northwest corner of the main house, which is outlined in red. And the enclosed patio cover will be incorporated with some modifications. Okay, first floor proposed plan. Again, the rear addition is outlined in red, which includes a new primary bedroom and bathroom. Just south of it, and I'll have my mouse pointing, is an existing bedroom that will be reconfigured as an office. And then further south of that, near the main entrance, excuse me, is an existing office that will be reconfigured as a tea parlor room where my mouse is. And then again, we see the rear porch enclosure with the arrow pointing right here. That will remain as a laundry room, and a new covered patio will be added just east of it right here. So existing and proposed roof plans. The existing roof plan on the left shows the original rear porch roof outlined in red that has been later modified into a patio enclosure. On the right, the proposed roof plan shows the rear addition that will extend the roof to the northwest. The enclosed patio will receive a new roof to integrate with the home, so that the roof cover of the patio will no longer exist. And then proposed attic plan. The shaded area represents a new attic extension above the proposed rear addition and above the enclosed patio and the new covered patio. Existing and proposed rear north elevation. The existing elevation is on the top and the proposed elevation is on the bottom. A new second gable will be introduced as part of the rear addition. which will be below the original building height. And that's outlined in red down here. There will be wider siding, which will be incorporated throughout the addition and throughout most of the north elevation to distinguish the new work from the existing. The rear porch roof, as I said earlier, that is above the enclosure right here, will be removed, and the enclosed patio will become part of the new rear alteration. A new porch column, where my mouse is, will be added to support a new small covered patio as part of this attic extension. And now we're looking at the existing and proposed side or west elevations. So the original window on this facade will be removed and replaced with 2 new wood windows for egress purposes for the interior reconfiguration. So that's this window here will be gone and replaced with these 2 here. The northwest addition is outlined in red in the lower image. Again, the siding is differentiated from the original siding and the roof line is lower than the existing. And now we're looking at existing and proposed east side elevations. Here you can see the attic roof line will be extended north with a new covered patio and column. The northwest addition is also outlined in red. And the existing and proposed garage elevations. This slide shows the garage doors that are outlined in red with existing at the top and proposed at the bottom. The new door will be a compatible double wood door with paneling and upper lights. So this project complies with the Secretary of Interior Standards, rehabilitation standards numbers 1 through 5 and 9 through 10. Standards 6 through 8 are not applicable, and it complies with the guidelines for preserving, rehabilitating, restoring, and reconstructing historic buildings. And then for reference, the standards that don't apply are the following. Standard 6 relates to deteriorated features and replacements of missing features, which this project doesn't include. Standard 7 relates to chemical or physical treatment, and standard 8 is regarding archaeology. So staff recommends adopting a resolution approving a certificate of appropriateness for historic exterior modification, application number 2023-09 as conditioned. And that concludes my presentation. Thank you.
Do the commissioners have any questions of staff? Okay, I do. Andrea, if you would switch back to the drawing of the north elevation. In the bottom right-hand box where it shows the rear addition, I realize this is the back side. Essentially, it's the total back side of the house does not face the street. So I won't die on this hill, but why does that look out of balance to me?
Can you elaborate what you mean?
Well, the portion of the building which is closest to us has that one window all the way mashed over to the left, very close to another window. And then there's this big expanse to the right where there's nothing. It just seems odd why that's there must be a critical reason why it was placed there.
Not 100% following, but maybe.
Well, do you know which diagram I'm talking about? The one that says north elevation, bottom right-hand box.
Yeah, I'm looking at that.
Okay. So where there is the red dot surrounding a portion, well, it's the area included in the red dot, right?
Mhm.
So there's one window all the way to the far left.
Mhm.
That's what I'm talking about. To
Well,
me, that looks out of balance.
this window here.
Huh? Yeah.
Maybe if we look at the floor plan, it might explain.
Okay. Yeah. So that is the bathroom.
Bathroom.
And I'm not sure if the architect might be here. We can also ask questions of the architect if you'd like.
Are you the applicant? Are you
Chair,
the applicant? Is the applicant in the audience? Why
Sir,
don't you come forward?
Chair,
Oh,
before
sorry.
doing that, it's encouraged that you complete the question from the commission
Okay,
and then
all
open the
right. Well, then
public
stay
hearing.
seated. Okay, are there any other questions of staff from the commissioners? Seeing none, all right. The public hearing is now open, and I'd like to invite the applicant to come forward. And perhaps we have some questions of the applicant.
Hi, I'm Asia Foster. This is my husband, Patrick Liu. We are the current stewards for 419 West 19th Street.
Can you speak closer to the microphone?
Yes, sorry. Also known as the Yeri House. We purchased back in 2021. We were very fortunate to do so. We have found ourselves working from home now permanently and would like a little bit of space to do so comfortably within our home.
Okay. Are you okay with this design on the north elevation?
Yes, so we did look at these plans with our architect, took into consideration that it is a bathroom. And we do have clear sight to our neighbors directly behind us. Their living room or side house, living room, and kitchen windows face our backyard. So for privacy concerns, we didn't want to place the shower window on the other side. It is actually facing our fence line now.
I see. All right. Are there any questions by the commission of the applicant? No? Did you folks want to tell us anything in particular? When do you plan to hold your first tea party?
Exactly.
That's what we're hoping, that hopefully construction doesn't take too long. So far we've loved living in Santa Ana. We previously lived in Irvine, so.
Oh, how sad for you.
Yes, this is quite an upgrade.
Good. All right. Well, I think our Spanish Inquisition is ended. So, all right. Thank you for coming up and visiting with us.
Thank you.
Okay, Madam Secretary, have we received any written communication, or is there a member of the public that would like to comment on this item?
We have not received written communication. If you're attending this meeting in person and would like to comment on this item, please fill out a request to speak form and turn it into the secretary. If you're participating via Zoom and would like to comment on this item, please select the hand icon and unmute yourself. If you're calling in and would like to comment on this item, please dial 9 and then 6 to unmute yourself. I will wait for a few seconds. Chair, we do not have any speakers.
Okay. The public hearing is now closed. Is there a motion to approve this matter and a second?
Chair,
Yes, Commissioner Christie.
I'd like to move that we adopt the resolution approving the certificate of appropriateness for historic exterior modification application number 2023-09 as condition.
And I'll
Have a
second that. I can second that.
Commissioner Hardy is seconded. All right, Madam Secretary, can you call roll?
Commissioner Escamilla? Commissioner Christie?
Yes.
Commissioner Cornelius? Commissioner Hardy?
Yes.
Commissioner Haurigi?
Yes.
Commissioner Ship?
Aye.
Vice Chair Marashi?
Yes.
Chair Rush?
Yes.
Motion approved by majority vote with Commissioner Cornelius and Commissioner Escamilla absent.
Okay, congratulations, folks. Remember, we would like to be respectfully invited to your first tea party, so. Okay. That concludes the business calendar. Moving on to the work study session. Shannon McCarron from the Finance and Management Services will now provide a short presentation. So, Ms. McCarron?
Chair, while our colleagues from finance set up, I do want to touch on the fact that a similar presentation will be provided to the Planning Commission as well. And so we're excited for you to be able to meet with our finance agency this evening and listen to this video.
Okay, I'm going to start off by sharing a 4-minute video with you, just providing an overview of the budget process. I promise I won't put you to sleep.
The City of Santa Ana wants to hear from you. We need your help to decide how to spend your tax dollars and which city services to prioritize in our new budget. The City Council adopts a budget each year to provide services to our community of more than 300,000 residents and 30,000 businesses. The budget is simply a plan for spending city revenue over the next fiscal year. The fiscal budget year is July 1st through June 30th. The current budget of $870 million provides police, fire and ambulance services, street and park maintenance, library services, water and sewer service, programs for the unhoused community, and more. Funding for these services comes from taxes, fees, and allocations from county, state, and federal governments. Slightly more than half of the funding sources are restricted, meaning the city can only spend the money on specific services such as affordable housing or street improvements. The remainder of funding is unrestricted, meaning the city can spend the money on any city service such as public safety, library services, and parks and recreation programs. During the annual budget process, the City Council focuses on the unrestricted money accounted for in the city's general fund. The primary sources of revenue in the general fund are property taxes and sales taxes. For each dollar of property tax that you pay, the city receives approximately 19 cents, with the remaining portion going to countywide services and schools. If you shop or dine in Santa Ana, you pay 9.25% sales tax. The city receives 1% of the normal allocation, plus 1.5% for voter-approved Measure X. Measure X pays for 22% of the general fund budget. This important revenue source has helped the city retain and add police officers, provide services to the unhoused community, and address the effects of homelessness in the city's right-of-way. Measure X has also been used to build and maintain parks, provide youth services, improve the Santa Ana Regional Transportation Center, repair fire stations, and remove graffiti. In just 5 years, the city will lose $30 million of this important revenue source when the Measure X rate decreases from 1.5% to 1%. The tax goes away completely in 2039. The city currently has a balanced budget, meaning recurring revenue is sufficient to pay for recurring services. In the upcoming fiscal year, we expect it to be more difficult to balance the budget. The city's cost for labor, construction materials, and supplies are increasing faster than the city's revenue sources. More than ever, we need your opinion to help the city focus on the services our residents need. There are multiple ways for you to participate. Attend a city council meeting and offer your public comment. Complete the city's budget priorities survey. You can do so by filling out a paper survey, online, or even on your cell phone. Use the city's online tool to balance the budget, or select your priorities. It's easy and fun. For more information on the budget, scan the QR code you see today, visit the city's website, or email the budget team. The City of Santa Ana prides itself on financial transparency. More information is located at the city's website. Here you'll find the current fiscal year's budget in detail, prior year budgets, annual financial reports, and more. Thank you for caring about your city's budget. Your opinion counts.
So commissioners, I'm here today because I am seeking your assistance in getting others to tell us the city of Santa Ana, their opinions on which city programs and services are important to them. We have the 5 ways to contribute to the budget process. One is completing the budget priority survey. I've placed printed copies with each of you today. You can also, and all of our materials are available in English, Spanish, and Vietnamese. So I've left the printed copies with you today. You can also go online. If you go to our budget office website, the links to the survey in each of the 3 languages are there, as well as what we call BEST. BEST is our budget engagement simulation tool. What you can do there is be us for a day and act as if you're us attempting to balance the budget. So if you increase one thing, you have to decrease something else because it requires the submission of a balanced budget. The second online simulation tool we have is called Prioritize. And Prioritize allows you to select the projects most important to you up to 14.6 million. And the 14.6 million is the amount of money we have currently identified in the fiscal year 24-25 budget that's available for one-time spending projects. So we have that money earmarked already. And then you select the projects most important to you until you run out of money, and then you rank order them and according to which projects are most important to you. You can also attend a community budget meeting. We've held 2 community budget meetings so far this year in wards 1 and 2. Our next meeting is scheduled for this coming Tuesday at 6 p.m. at the Delhi Center, which is Ward 6. I am also going around and doing what I'm calling the listening tour. So I'm meeting with various nonprofits, neighborhood associations, and just pulling up a chair and listening, asking questions and listening. And then finally, you can offer a public comment at a council meeting, which is one of the reasons why I'm here today. We'll take all that information that we get. The survey opened at the beginning of January. We'll have it open until May 13th. We'll compile everything we've gotten, and then we'll summarize and share it with council. City council will also receive a detailed file with every single response that we've received. The mayor has requested us to get to between 10,000 and 20,000 responses. We're right around the 1,200 mark today, so we don't have a lot of time to make a lot of headway. So I come here today begging for you all to provide input in the process, as well as provide any recommendations, if you have any, about how we can better get the word out and get folks are involved. And I'm also here if you have any comments you want to make about the budget or requests, I can take those with me today as well.
Commissioners, Commissioner Marashi?
So you said we roughly have 300,000 people in the city, and you said 1,200 responses so far?
Yes.
Wow. Okay.
We're hitting the pavement.
Yeah, good. Now, so, you would think you'd want to go to high traffic areas like the senior citizen centers and the library and things like that. Do you have computers and set up in those locations?
So what we're
could log in?
That's a great question. We're bringing iPads with us. And so the team, we come and they help roam around the room to help people complete if they have questions about the online tools. We're also getting this year, every year is different. This year, we're getting a lot of requests for just printed copies. So I'm taking stacks of paper with me everywhere we go, and that seems to be the biggest hit so far. One thing I neglected to mention is we're also attending citywide events where we're setting up a booth. We found that to be the biggest bang for our buck. And we set up a vendor table. We bribe kids with coloring books and crayons. So while the kids are playing with that, we con the parents into taking the survey. And so like I said, that's usually where we get the greatest response. Our social media blasts, we get heavy responses for that. The Voice of OC mentioned us in an article last week, so that helps. But we can see the biggest when we get any kind of press coverage or our social media blasts.
And the deadline to get this done, you're hoping
It's May 13th. We'll be sharing with council preliminary survey results at the first council meeting in May. So we'll take what we have at that point, and then once the May 13th deadline hits, we'll scramble, recompile it, and share it at the next council meeting after that.
Are there any other commissioners who have questions? Oh, Commissioner Shipp?
You said on social media, correct?
Mhm.
in addition to your printed copies, one thing that you could do is having the QR code available in different areas in the city for people, because everyone is phone savvy. For someone could walk up and say, for instance, in your public parks, you can have it on the wall where they can scan
Okay.
it. You know, just different areas that the city have that you can be able to put it, maybe on some trees, because when you have a lot of foot traffic, everyone's on their phone, and that anyone can scan the QR code. Just a suggestion.
Okay, great. Thank you. That's why I'm here.
Commissioner Hardy, did you raise your hand?
I was going to ask for that.
Commissioner Hargy. I thought Commissioner Hardy raised her hand and then you spoke.
No,
No, neither one of you have a comment. Okay.
I do.
Commissioner Marashi.
Just one last comment. So we have our Floral Park has the Home and Garden Tour in April. You might contact the Home and Garden Tour Committee and ask them if you
Okay.
could have a little booth
Sure.
set up to do that.
Okay, great. Thank you. That's exactly what I'm looking for.
Yeah, you
Sarah.
guys have what, 1,500 people come to that? Commissioner Hargy.
We're going to have a dumpster day in Wilshire Square. It'd be nice to have a poster so we can have them up by the dumpster so people can have that information too. Something we can post somewhere either on the ground, on
Okay.
the stake, or against the dumpsters.
What was the name of it? Dumpster Day?
And we're having dumpster
Okay.
day in Wilshire Square on Saturday, April 6th. So if you have posters, I'd appreciate 6 of them because we have 6 dumpsters.
Got it.
Thank you.
Commissioner Marashi.
You also have the Comlink meeting?
Yes, that's one of the places we're scheduled to be at. We'll be at the March 28th Comlink meeting. And we're with the Artesia Pilar Neighborhood Association on March 26th, and Thornton Park is next Thursday at MIT.
All right, Commissioner Ship.
Have you guys did the high schools as well?
That's a really good question. I reached out.
Colleges?
So I reached out to the poli-sci professors at Santa Ana College. I have on my to-do list to call them tomorrow and follow up. I've also reached out at Santa Ana USD to is it FACE? It's like a group. I can't remember what they are, but I've reached out to them as well.
Okay. Are there any other commissioners? Commissioner Marashi.
That's one of the other ones I just thought of. They're having a grand opening at the McFadden College, the culinary arts and the automotive. So maybe you could reach out to them as well.
Thank you.
Okay.
When are you having the presentation to the council on May what? I'm sorry.
So this is what we normally do. So I'm saying this with an asterisk because plans, some are subject to change, but this is how it normally goes for us in May. We come to the first council meeting in May. I think it's May 2nd this year. I'm not quite sure, but we come to that. We kind of present on this is where we're at in terms of our budget. This is what we've heard. This is what council indicated the budget priorities are. So we have that session. And then what we do is we schedule a standalone budget workshop in May. And I have to thank you for asking about that. I have not confirmed that date yet, and that is just solely dedicated to talk about the budget. So this is where council sees the draft budget. At this point, we're still fine tuning our revenue estimates and departments are still entering their budget requests. That deadline is tomorrow, so we'll need the next few weeks after that to compile everything, ask questions, go back and forth. So we share that with council. That's the first time they get to see the draft version of the budget. We get some feedback from them, and then we come to the next council meeting in May, where again, we share them with the budget, the proposed budget updates that they've requested, and we get further feedback. By the time that we have to have all that done, because by the first meeting in June is our first public hearing, and that is where we post the budget, and we have a community public hearing to specifically talk about the budget. And then if all goes well, fingers crossed, the budget is adopted at the second meeting in June.
But it has to be under, the drop dead date is July 1, right?
Not technically, no, but yes.
Yeah. Well, Ms. McCarron, I have a question for you. And that is, it's my recollection that, wasn't it last year that the bond on the jail was retired?
That sounds about right. I'd have to look and let you know for sure, but you're warm. You're close. I just don't want to confirm
That
without
must have
having it.
freed up some money.
I don't know. Let me go. I'm making a note.
Yeah, yeah. I'd be curious to know. Anyway, okay. Any other questions of Ms. McCarron? Okay. All right, so at this point, are there any staff member comments?
Thank you, Chair, Vice Chair, and Commission members for another great meeting this evening. As we do enter this budget process, I will shamelessly plug for the Planning Division and the expectations of the community that have grown in historic preservation, and to consider during this budget process advocating to the council members who appointed you and encouraging your colleagues and peers in historic preservation to do the same for staff resources or contractual services for the Planning Division to help continue to support historic preservation efforts in our community.
Okay. Okay, now we'll have go to commissioner comments. I'll start with Commissioner Shipp to my left.
Well, I wanted to say congratulations to but they all left.
There's one, there's the one.
Where's one? Oh, okay. Congratulations. I didn't see you.
We haven't done,
Oh,
that's the Mentor property.
Oh.
We haven't done that one.
say,
I'm sorry. I can barely hear you.
We're still missing one more property.
Commissioner Hargy? What's that? Are you done, Commissioner Shipp? Okay. Commissioner Hargy?
No, thank you very much. That was an excellent presentation and I already voted or gave my input on the QR code.
All right, thank you. Commissioner Hardy?
Yes, I already filled out my budget survey also, and I did advocate for planning and building agency for funds to go there to hire a full-time dedicated historic preservation planner. And then I do have a question. I want to inquire on how we're progressing with our Historic Preservation Award program. Are we going to see that in 2024?
Thank you, Commissioner. Yes, we are aiming to bring that back this year. We've had several ideas on the best way to bring it back, but we do intend to resurrect the webpage that allows people to nominate and then bring that forward for evaluation by the commission and then present to City Council this calendar year. Another idea that's been floated is partnering with an outside group like Preserve OC to have them nominate and make presentations to City Council. We're open to new ideas, but one way or another, we do want to bring it back in 2024.
Okay, well, just a little insight. I know that when we worked to create the Historic Commission, it was for the commission to have the program with the city involvement. So I don't know, we're gonna change, but that's my 2 cents. All right, thank you.
Commissioner Marashi?
Again, I want to thank Andrea for the wonderful presentations today. Congratulate all the homeowners. Looking forward to it. One of the last things we have as far as our Floral Park Historic Committee, now that we're wrapping up with a few things, is to get together with Andrea and figure out what day we're going to have a citywide historic resource, historic register and Mills Act seminar or training session. So I'll be working with you next week to pencil that date and start talking about it some more, but we're looking forward to that, a citywide training session. Thank you.
Commissioner Christie?
Well, I just like to thank the staff and everyone for all their hard work that you're, with the properties and all of the, they all left, all the new properties that are on our register and everything. So great job that we're doing.
Okay, it's now my turn. Well, Just a reminder to each of you about the countywide preservation roundtable, which is going to be here in Santa Ana at the Episcopal Church of the Messiah on Saturday, the 16th. It'll go from 8:30 a.m. to 12:30. Coffee, juice, pastries are included, but lunch is not included. We are attempting to organize a abbreviated walking tour of some things near the Episcopal Church because there is so much there that is historic. But that's still in the planning stage. We'll let you know on that. But if you're interested in going, you need to make an RSVP to www.preserveorangecounty.org. So I wanted to ask about what the status of the auditing of our Mills Act contracts is. I know that's something that's been in the works for quite some time. It's on the same time schedule as the Preservation Awards. It's somehow on the back burner. So anyway, and then I too would echo Commissioner Hardy's comments about the Preservation Awards. It seems to me from what I gathered that we were somehow conflicted as commissioners to nominate properties. Was that the case?
Well, I don't know if it's for me to answer that, but no, we could nominate.
Well, I don't know.
But there was, I think when the having an ad hoc committee and an actual procedure of what the ad hoc committee was supposed to do to document the nominations or whatever. I don't know. There was a process that something happened there. Ollie probably.
Yeah, I don't know. It's very convoluted, but I had suggested partnering with Preserve Orange County. Both organizations, the city and POC. I have no axe to grind per se. It was just a suggestion, but there has to be a way to get it done and make it less cumbersome. We've been talking about this for the last I don't think we've given out any awards in 5 years? Yeah, it's a long time. So yes, Commissioner Hardy.
I think what happened when I was part of the ad hoc committee is we didn't really know what we were supposed to do. So when I was part of the ad hoc committee, I had to reach out to planning and say, what is the procedure? What are we supposed to be doing? And then I got direction that way. But I think that's kind of where it fell apart, in my opinion. Thank you.
Yes. So anyway, that concludes my comments. And did you have any retort, Ally?
No, thank you, Chair. Other than the Mills Act self-reporting program has actually made a lot of progress in the past few months behind the scenes. We finally have a web page that's been created and went through extensive testing with just test case scenarios. And we've been working with IT to get that refined and ready for launch pretty soon. So Andrea's been very hard at work in addition to all the listings and presentations that she makes for the commission. That's been also one of her projects that she's been leading. And we are very close to actually getting to a point where it can be made public. And then we'll go through and start informing Mills Act owners in batches to begin reporting based on oldest contract holders to newest, so that those who have had the oldest Mills Act can begin to sort of self-audit and self-report to the city.
Okay, all right, very good. All right, well, I will call us an adjournment. Our next meeting is Thursday, May the 2nd at 4:30 p.m. Please make certain that all of our commissioners know that and mark it on your calendar. So yes, Commissioner Hargy.
I have a question. This is the first time my first year, right? On the consent calendar, we already approved the property on 801 North Minter.
Yeah.
Because the owner's here. So that was.
Well, it was a consent calendar item, so.
So
That's why you weren't asked to come to the dice. You've done some beautiful work there. And you're to be congratulated. So Alberta's going to throw you a party too, but see her after the meeting. Congratulations.
She's been waiting here. Thank you, thank you.
You have a darling Victorian, was it Craftsman Victorian house, lovely with a fish scale siding and so forth. Very, very, very charming home. So
Sure.
congratulations for all your hard work. So we stand in adjournment until our meeting